Okay, so you follow golf, right? But the pro scene moves so fast. How do you actually, get a quick handle on who won what, where, and maybe the story behind the win without drowning in stats?
Exactly. It can feel like a lot to keep up with.
Well, that's what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into a report that covers all the major golf results for the week ending Sunday, July 6th, 2025.
Hmm.
Our mission really is to pull out the important stuff, the key insights, so you get the picture quickly and accurately. Kind of a shortcut to being in the know.
That's the plan. We'll hit the big ones: PGA Tour, LPGA, the DP World Tour, even the Challenge Tour. And we'll also touch on some other tours, plus maybe some of those, human stories that pop up.
Sounds good. We want to give you that complete picture, but yeah, without the overload.
Precisely. Let's get started.
Okay, let's kick off with the PGA Tour. Probably the one most people follow closely. This past week was the John Deere Classic. That was July 3rd to the 6th over at TPC Deere Run in Silvis, Illinois.
Right. And the winner there was Brian Campbell. This was actually his second victory of the 2025 season already.
Second win. Impressive.
Yeah, and get this, he won it in a playoff. Beat Emiliano Grillo on the very first extra hole. Talk about drama.
Wow, okay. A playoff win. That tells you something. What about the money? Big purse.
Pretty substantial. Total purse was $8.4 million. Campbell's share for the win, $1,512,000. He finished at 18 under par.
15 million. Wait, 1.5 million, sorry.
Yeah, 1.5. Still a nice payday.
Definitely. But back to the playoff thing. You said this is his second win this season, and both were playoff victories.
That's right. Both wins decided in extra holes.
Okay, that's more than just luck, isn't it? What does that signal to you? Performance under pressure, obviously, but is there more?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just composure, though. That's huge. Winning 2 playoffs so early in the season, it points to a real developing mental strength, a clutch factor. It suggests he's figuring out how to perform when everything's on the line. That's a quality you see in guys who go on to win majors. It's about seizing the moment.
Interesting perspective. Okay, so from the individual pressure cooker of the PGA Tour, let's shift gears. What about the women? The LPGA Tour had the Dow Championship. That would actually finish a little earlier, right? June 26th to 29th.
Correct. At Midland Country Club in Michigan. And the Dow is, it's unique.
Because of the team format.
Exactly. It's a 72-hole team event. They alternate formats each day: foursomes, which is often shot, and then 4-ball, best ball.
Right. I remember that. Foursome sounds incredibly tough. You mess up, you really hurt your partner.
It demands absolute precision, total trust. Then 4-ball lets you be a bit more aggressive, knowing your partner might have your back. Switching between those mindsets day to day, that's a serious test of versatility.
So who conquered that test this year?
The winners were Jinhee Im and Somi Lee, both from South Korea. They finished at 20 under. Strong performance.
20 under as a team. And their winnings.
They split $399,510 from the $3.3 million total purse.
Nice. This team format, it feels like it's becoming a bigger deal in women's golf. Adds a different dynamic.
It really is gaining traction. And, connecting it to the bigger picture, these team events aren't just like a fun gimmick. They force this blend of individual skill and strategic teamwork. Creates different storylines, different pressures. Fans seem to love it. And it probably opens up new sponsorship angles, too. This is a smart move for the tour, I think.
Makes sense. Okay, let's hop across the pond. The DP World Tour. They had the BMW International Open in Germany, same dates as the John Deere, July 3rd to 6th. Munich, right?
Yep, Golf Club München, I can read. And the winner there was Daniel Brown from England.
Daniel Brown. Was this a big win for him?
It was his second DP World Tour title. He played really well, especially the final round, shot a 66 to finish at 22 under, won by 2 strokes.
22 under, impressive scoring. What was the purse there?
$2,750,000 for that one.
Now, I heard there was maybe a bit more to this story than just the score for Brown.
Yeah, that's right. This win was apparently quite emotional for him. Reports mentioned he'd been dealing with some significant personal challenges leading up to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So winning under those circumstances, it just adds this layer of, human resilience. It's more than just a golf tournament then.
Absolutely. It's a great reminder, isn't it? These players, they have lives going on outside the ropes, and sometimes overcoming that adversity fuels these incredible performances. Really adds depth to the victory.
Couldn't agree more. It makes the achievement resonate differently.
Okay, let's step down one level, but still hugely important, the Challenge Tour. That's the main feeder tour for the DP World Tour, right?
That's the one, the pathway.
They had the Interretten Open in Austria. Same week, July 3rd to 6th.
Correct. Schleidming-Dachstein Golf Club. And this one had a great story, too. The winner was Maximilian Steinlechner.
Steinlechner, Austrian.
Exactly. Won his first Challenge Tour title, and he did it on home soil in Austria.
Oh, fantastic for him. Winning at home, maiden victory. That's got to be huge.
Massive. It's a really key moment, a big milestone for a young professional trying to climb the ladder.
And this event, it's part of the Hotel Planner Tour and the Road to Mallorca. We hear that phrase, Road to Mallorca, quite a bit.
Right.
What exactly does that mean in practical terms for a player like Steinlechner?
Right. The Road to Mallorca. It's essentially the season-long points race on the Challenge Tour. The goal is to finish in the top 20 on that order of merit by the end of the season.
And the top 20 get?
They get their DP World Tour card for the next season. Full playing privileges on the main European Tour. So a win like Steinlechner's, especially mid-season, it's a massive leap towards securing one of those coveted spots. It's the direct pipeline.
Gotcha. Okay, so that covers the main winners. What about other tours? Anything happening on the seniors tours or elsewhere?
Well, it was actually a quiet week for some of the other big tours. PGA Tour champions, the Legends Tour over in Europe, the Sunshine Tour in South Africa. They all had the week off.
Yeah.
No scheduled events ending July 6th. And similarly, couldn't find info on major events for the Australian Tour, Japanese Tour, or the Asian Tour. Doesn't mean nothing happened, but likely no premier tournaments finished that specific week.
Right, but they have events coming up soon, I assume, like the PGA Tour champions.
They do. Their next one is the DICK's Open. That's July 11th to 13th up in Endicott, New York. Enjoy Golf Club.
Okay, purse for that.
$2,200,000. And Padraig Harrington is the defending champ there.
Always competitive. And the Legends Tour.
Their next big one is the Stager PGA Seniors Championship. That's a bit later, July 31st to August 3rd, up in Scotland at Trump International Golf Links in Aberdeen.
Scotland, okay.
Yeah, and that tour's got a record prize fund this season, something like $20 million overall. They always pull in big names, former major winners, Ryder Cup captains. You know the drill. Definitely worth watching.
So summing up the week then, no massive overarching golf news, no huge amateur results jumping out, but those wins by Daniel Brown and Maximilian Steinlechner, those stories really stand out.
Absolutely. The emotional element for Brown, the home soil maiden win for Steinlechner, those are the kinds of moments that make the week memorable beyond just the scores. Shows the heart of the sport, really.
Yeah, definitely. So thinking back on everything we've just covered, what's the one thing that really jumps out to you from this past week?
That's a good question. I think, for me, it maybe raises this bigger thought. How do these individual wins, especially the ones under pressure like Campbell's playoff wins, or the ones with deep personal meaning like Brown's, how do they really shape a player? Like beyond just the points or the money? How does it change their season, their whole career path, maybe even how they're remembered down the line? These aren't just results. They feel like potential turning points. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's about the narrative, the trajectory, more than just a single week's result. It's a great point for reflection. So definitely keep an eye on these players we've talked about. See how Campbell handles the rest of his season. Watch Steinlechner on that road to Mallorca. See if Brown builds on that emotional win. And of course, look ahead to those senior tour events coming up. Always something interesting happening.
Always. That's the great thing about golf.